Try to picture a moment when you really needed help. Now imagine you couldn't speak and you couldn't write down a single word to explain what was wrong. How frustrating would that feel? That sense of being completely trapped without a voice is a real historical problem. For thousands of years, ordinary people all over the world lived that reality every single day. Take the Cherokee Nation in American history, for example. They had a rich culture and spoken language, but as the world around them relied more heavily on written documents, they found themselves at a massive disadvantage because they couldn't write down their own words. This is a printed chart showing the solution to that exact problem. A brilliant Cherokee scholar named Sequoyah spent years observing how his people spoke, and he invented this custom alphabet from scratch so they could finally write down their own language. Giving a community a way to write is giving them power. It ensures their thoughts, their history, and their rights can be shared and protected by anyone. If we travel to the other side of the world and go back a few centuries earlier to the ancient kingdom of Joseon, we find a very similar story. This is King Sejong the Great. He was a revered leader who looked out at his kingdom and realized that his own citizens were suffering in silence. Just like Sequoyah did for the Cherokee, Sejong realized that borrowing other people's writing systems wasn't working. He needed to build a completely new tool from the ground up, specifically for the Korean language. He didn't do this to collect more taxes or build a bigger army. He did it out of a deep, genuine empathy for common people who had no way to defend themselves. This manuscript shows the writing system Korea was using at the time. These are Chinese characters. Instead of a small alphabet, this system required you to memorize thousands of dense, unique, and highly intricate symbols. To read even a basic book, you had to hire private tutors and study for years. That kind of education required a massive amount of wealth and free time. Now, think about an average farmer or a village laborer in Joseon. They were working from sunrise to sundown just to feed their families. Because of this, when a commoner was cheated out of their land or unfairly punished, they couldn't write a letter to a judge. They couldn't read the laws that governed them. They were legally invisible. The writing system itself acted like a high, invisible wall. It kept all the political power and legal protection locked safely inside the estates of the wealthy elite. Watching his people suffer like this broke King Sejong's heart, so he made a bold decision to invent something entirely new. He had to work quietly. The wealthy elites liked being the only ones who could read, and they actively opposed any plan that has that kind of power. Sejong approached this problem like a scientist. He asked a brilliant question. What is the absolute easiest, most natural way for a human being to put a spoken sound onto a piece of paper? He found the answer in the human body, observing the shapes our mouth and tongue make. When making a G sound, your tongue blocks your throat. Sejong drew a shape exactly like that motion, directly tracing our biology into clean, geometric lines. Sejong engineered these characters to be intuitive, building a system so logical that any citizen could look at a letter and understand exactly why it represented a specific sound. Finally, in the year 1443, the project was finished. Sejong had distilled the sounds of the Korean language into 28 beautifully simple letters. He named his invention Hunminjeongeum. That translates to the correct sounds for the instruction of the people. The impact was immediate. Because the design made physical sense, an ordinary person could master the entire alphabet in just a few days, bypassing the years of expensive schooling entirely. Soon, laborers were writing notes to each other. Young children were drawing the new letters in the dirt with sticks, eagerly teaching their friends how to read in the village squares. As literacy began to spread through villages and markets, the alphabet started doing exactly what Sejong intended. It gave ordinary people a tool to navigate a world that had previously ignored them. This is a surviving copy of the actual manual King Sejong published to teach the public how to combine his new letters. It is physical proof of his project surviving into the modern day. Today, we call this alphabet Hangul, and if you sit down to learn it right now, you are using the exact same shapes that those villagers traced in the dirt centuries ago. Just like Sequoyah and the Cherokee writing system, King Sejong used his brilliant mind to build a bridge for his community. Every time you practice your Korean letters today, you are utilizing a tool Sejong spent years refining, a gift of communication designed to ensure that no one's voice would ever be truly silent.